I know these videos are very trendy right now, so I thought I would hop on the trend even though I'm like a few months late. I got you guys to send me your assumptions over on IG stories, and I thought we'd talk about it. And I don't know, this is basically just like a glorified Q&A. I also feel like I don't have that much controversy or scandals to talk about, so I feel like this is gonna be very underwhelming, but let's do it anyways. Okay, let's open these up. Okay, the first question, your family is pretty wealthy. Now I feel like with these videos, this is everyone's first question or the question that's asked the most. People just wanna be like, yo, are your parents loaded or not? Like, let me know, which I get it. But no, that is not the case at all. I don't know, I think we grew up pretty average. I mean, I guess that's relative to everyone's experience, but I was really lucky that I feel like growing up, my parents instilled really good values and financial values in me. Like I've never really been one to spend a lot of money. I've always saved, and that's because that's the way they were. I think that really just came from a place of them wanting me not to experience some of the struggles that they had to experience growing up, being a young couple or young parents or anything like that. So yeah, I definitely feel really lucky that they taught me that. But yeah, long story short, no, my father does not own Forbes magazine, and neither does my grandpa. Although I kind of wish they did, like that would be really great. I mean, love you grandpa and dad, like love what you do, but unfortunately, no, I'm not a part of the Forbes empire. You are a feminist. Heck yeah, equality for all. I think balance of the genders is very important, and yeah, I proudly say that I'm a feminist. You would have studied communications if you had gone to college. This is a common misconception. I feel like because I joke about it a lot and say that I never finished high school and I never went to university, those are kind of untrue. I did graduate high school a year early, so I graduated when I was in year 11. When I was in grade 11. So I was pretty young, I was 16. And then I also decided not to go to university, which I feel like America doesn't call it university. Here we call it like university, and college is something different. I mean, it's similar, but a little different. But I ended up not going to university. I declined my offers and I ended up going to college for makeup. So I did go to school, but I kind of finished it all a bit earlier than normal. So yeah, as much as I joke about me not finishing high school, I actually did. That wasn't the question, was it? No, the question was if you would have studied communications. No, if I actually ended up going to the university program that I was supposed to go to. It was actually at a school called Ryerson here in Toronto, and it was for creative industries. And it kind of is like a degree in business, but also combined with the creative industries like the arts, music, acting, things like that. So yeah, that would have been the program that I would have taken if I ended up going to university, but I decided not to at the last minute. The next assumption says you're super tall. No, I've never felt super tall, but oddly enough, all of my friends are really, really short. So whenever I take pictures with my friends, I just feel like an absolute giant. I'm only 5'6", which I think is kind of like an average height, but apparently not. My friends are just so like cute and little, and I'm just like, hello, it is I. So yeah, I don't know. I also wear heels a lot though. I do enjoy a good heel, so that makes me feel like an extra tall giant, so it's all objective, isn't it? This one says, you've been everywhere in Canada. No, I actually am not very well traveled in Canada at all, which I wish I was, and that's something that I wanna work on that. But I haven't really been out east at all, and I've just only been out recently to BC once. But I pretty much just like stayed in Ontario and hit all those cities in here. But I haven't done like a proper tour across Canada, which maybe one day I'll like rent an RV and just drive across. Maybe not. Maybe, who knows? This one says, you're super fit and healthy all the time. Not at all, not at all. I definitely do think, you know, obviously health is important, and I enjoy working out with friends, and I enjoy eating healthy at times, but I think it's like anything in life, you gotta find a good balance. So I'd say it's like 60-40, 70-30, the majority being healthy. But no, I enjoy like working out. I love going to workout classes with my friends. I love running, like I love all that stuff. But I mean, I definitely enjoy my fair share of like a good donut or binging out on horrible food. But I also love eating like salads and healthy food. But yeah, no, I don't know. I'm not a health queen at all, but love healthy things and I love unhealthy things. You know what I'm saying? This assumption says that your friends refer to you as the life of the party. I don't know. I mean, maybe yes. I think a lot of people think I'm like super crazy and just like, I don't know, if we're out at a party or an event and someone's like, Jaclyn, go do the worm, I will gladly say yes and do that. I will never turn down a dare for the most part. But I think a lot of people maybe who don't know me will be like, oh my god, this girl, she's like so drunk, so crazy. And I'll be like, no, I'm sober over here, just like wanted to do the worm and have a good time. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not afraid to have fun, and I may also be slightly crazy, so that could be a factor. This one says, California is your favorite place to visit when coming to the US. Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, I love California. I've always loved it ever since I was young, and every time I like hop off the plane at LAX. Ooh.
Party in the USA, baby.
It's just like, it feels right. The air is warm, the sun is shining. I mean, it's amazing weather, so you can't really go wrong with that. There's also so many places that I want to go to in the States that I haven't been before, so I feel like I can't say California is my favorite state yet, just because there's so many more I want to go to. There's also a lot of questions saying that you want to move to LA or that one day you'll live in the US, and no, not anymore. When I was younger, like when I was like 10 years old and would have like a vision board, I'd be like, I want to move to LA one day, I want to move to America, and at the time that definitely was true, but I think as I've gotten older, I've gained so much more of an appreciation for Toronto and just Canada in general, and as much as I love traveling to the States, I feel like I go there so often because of work that I'm lucky to have a good balance between the two. So I've always said this, well, not always, but in recent times, I've always said that I think I'll always have my home base here in Toronto, no matter where else everything else takes me. So definitely wouldn't want to leave this because I just love Toronto and I have so many great friends here and my family's here, and yeah. Sticking to the theme of travel, this one here says you spend a lot of money on travel. Yes and no. I think travel, if you're looking at like my expenses for the year, like my kind of fun expenses, whether it be like clothes, makeup, travel is definitely where I spend the most money, but I also don't spend probably as much as you think. I'm lucky that I get to travel a lot for work or with friends, or go on press trips that take me to different places, but I'm not necessarily paying for those trips, you know? Not all the time. So I'm also the type of person, I'm not super materialistic? That sounded wrong. I'm not super oh, wow, that one's really getting me. Materialistic. So I'd much rather spend my money on experiences or traveling or things like that, not really like tangible things. So yeah, if I'm gonna save and spend my money on anything, it'll definitely be travel over like a new purse or something like that. This one here says you don't ever get nervous interviewing celebs. Yes and no. I think it's always before like a big event, like last year when I did the fashion feed with MTV on the red carpet at the MMVAs. That was definitely an experience I was like super giddy about and definitely had nerves, but it wasn't really about meeting the people in the actual interviews. It was just more the idea and the pressure of having to continuously be on for like an hour and a half and be hosting and entertaining everyone and doing all that. And it was such a new experience for me because I'd never done anything to that scale before. But no, for the most part, I don't really get starstruck as much as I love. I think people forget, like I am actually like a fangirl at heart. I've always loved meeting like my idols or people that I look up to or people that I admire. I have so much fun meeting new people, and I think I'm very much so a people person, so I get so excited to ask people questions and to just learn about them and just to chat with different people. Honestly, it normally hits me afterwards. I'll sit back and watch an interview that I did with someone and I'm like, oh, that person's like kind of a big deal. Maybe I should have freaked out a little more. But I also think sometimes it works to my advantage. Like I wouldn't want to be sitting there and be like, oh my God, like I can't say anything. Actually, you know what? The more that I think about it, the things that make me nervous, it's less about the actual person because normally everyone's really nice, but it's more about their fandoms because, I mean, you guys know like boy band fandoms or just like really any fandom, they're super intense and I totally get it. So I just want to like do them proud and I don't want to upset anyone watching. You know what I'm saying? There's a few questions here about being like a teacher's pet or that you did really good in school, that you're really smart. No, I've kind of always said this. I mean, I think also when I made the decision to kind of finish school early, I was like 16 and I'm like, peace out high school, I don't need that anymore. I think people assume that I was like some genius or something, which is not the case at all. I think I was good at school in the sense that I knew how to get good grades, but I wasn't necessarily extremely intelligent. And I think that's a big difference. I think you can be a smart person and get bad grades in school, and I think you can get great grades at school and not be that smart. Do you know what I'm saying? I just think I was very studious, and I definitely was a teacher's pet for sure. Like I was friends with all my teachers, and I would like stay after class and get extra help if I needed something, and I just like worked hard at it, but I don't think I was smart. Does that make sense? This one here says you're over making YouTube videos. No, that's not true. I definitely go through phases of feeling kind of uninspired, and I think honestly it was kind of the end of last year that made me reflect on what I was filming and the content that I was putting out there, and I just kind of had a moment where I was like, would I watch the videos that I'm making? And honestly, for some of them I was like, no, I wouldn't sit down and watch that. And I think my goal when making videos has always been videos that I would sit down and find entertaining, so it really just made me reevaluate what I was putting out there. And kind of just like reset my whole viewpoint on it. So I'm definitely starting to have a lot more fun with what I'm doing, and just kind of like changing some things up. I think it's easy to get into a routine and making things very formulaic when you've been doing things for so long. Sometimes I just like need a minute to be like re-inspired and to be re-inspired. That sounds so airy-fairy. Next assumption, you are very secure about yourself. Yes and no. I mean, I think I've grown up always being very secure in my personality, which is baffling because I am quite loud and obnoxious and annoying, but never had a problem with that. But I mean, obviously I think it's natural to have certain insecurities about like your body or just like, I don't know, things in your life. And I definitely grew up always hating my nose. I just thought I had the most hideous nose and profile ever. And honestly spent probably like a good 5 years just like wanting to change my nose. And in hindsight, I don't know, I think it's a thing with age too. When you get older, either you just are too exhausted to care anymore, or you just kind of truly get over it. So I don't really care about my nose anymore. I mean, I don't love it, but it's just like, it's there, it's a thing. But yeah, I also was always super insecure about my skin because I like grew up with acne and like struggling with my skin. So that was always like a major insecurity, especially like as I was a teenager. But yeah, I don't know. I think I just care less as I get older. I'm just like, well, this is how I am. Whatever. Okay, what else is in here? A lot of these are just repeat. Oh, this one's good. You never eat non-vegan things. That is pretty much true. I mean, I used to be like a really annoying vegan, if I'm honest, and I would be just like, I don't even want to get into it. I was just a super annoying person about it. I definitely was overly diligent, and I mean, I would even say obsessed with like meat not touching any of my things, and I wouldn't want like my veggie burgers even cooked on the same grill as where like a regular hamburger was cooked and things like that, where I definitely tried to kind of like settle down about things like that. But there was a moment oh, this is not, I don't share this fondly, but there was a time when I ordered pasta from a restaurant, and it was a non-vegan restaurant, and they have this like marinara sauce that is vegan. So I requested for it to be made with that sauce instead of like, I don't know, like the rosé creamy sauce that normally comes on the dish. So I guess they had brought it out, and I didn't realize that they didn't sub out the marinara sauce. So I took a bite, but then as soon as I ate it, I was like, whoa, this is way too creamy. Like this one cannot be the vegan marinara sauce. So I honestly freaked out. Okay. Also for context, at this point, it was during a very stressful week in my life, and I hadn't been sleeping. And at this point, like I was just on the verge of a mental breakdown at any point, and then this just kind of set me off. So I literally freaked out. I like spat out my food. Like I had a tantrum. It was like not okay. And I was like,
I've been vegan for 4 years. I haven't let any non-vegan food enter my soul, and now I just ate this pasta and it's breaking all my veganism.
and I honestly went on a downward spiral. And my parents and my brother, they were sitting there like, are you good? Like, this is not normal behavior. But I think it was just the idea that I had literally been so careful with all of my food for literally 4 years, and then just one simple noodle broke it all. At least like that's what I felt like in my brain. But yeah, so that was a moment. Oh, and I also had a moment where I ate Rice Krispies because I was like, oh, they don't have any, dairy or egg or anything like that in it. And it turns out it has like, it's fortified with this one vitamin that has bugs in it, or I don't know, something about it is non-vegan. So I ate that and didn't realize till after. So I definitely had like 1 or 2 mess ups, but you know what? It's all good. I don't try to stress about that stuff. Oh, this one here says you're really opinionated. Yes, I think maybe you guys wouldn't think that. Sometimes something that I struggle with is I feel like sometimes what I share with you guys is only like 5% of who I am, and I have so many other interests and obviously opinions and sides to me that I don't always share. And it's not anything that I consciously do. I think it's just like, oh, I make these types of videos on YouTube, or I talk about this on YouTube, and I don't share so many other things. But I think also something that I've kind of come to terms with and recognize that it's okay for me to be more opinionated and to share my thoughts on things. I just think before I never wanted to be controversial or like stir anything up or cause anyone to be upset. But I definitely do think it is a privilege to have a platform, and I'm lucky to have an audience. And if I can try to have a positive influence on some of you guys, then I'd want to do that. So that's definitely more of a goal for me for this year, is to be more vocal about my opinions and my beliefs and kind of what I stand for. So we'll see. This one here says, you have a super glamorous life. No, that is not true. I feel like everyone says this, but Instagram, YouTube, it normally is just a highlight reel, and you guys see the best parts of it. And I mean, obviously I've been really lucky, at least with like doing YouTube as a job, to have so many experiences that I feel very privileged to have. but if you guys would see the majority of my day, it is not glamorous at all. And I take pride in, you know, living in my pajamas and not wearing makeup majority of the time. I only get glam for you guys on camera, so. Oh, this is confronting. Amanda here asked me if I use Just for Men for my bald spot. She knows the answer to this. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, which you should, but if you don't, over on my Instagram stories, I think I've talked about this a little bit. I have a bald spot on the back of my head right now, which basically happened. I had a really high and tight pony in, very Ariana Grande inspired. And after having the pony in for so long, it actually pulled out a chunk of my hair. So I have a giant, like, literally a circle that big on the crown of my head where it is just completely bald and also slightly indented, which is very concerning, but I've seen a dermatologist and a doctor about it. We're trying to regrow it. So on top of getting injections in my scalp, like genuine needles into my scalp to help stimulate hair growth again, I also am using men's hair growth serum called Rogaine, which is something very confronting and really something that I would never need to do at the age of 21. But here I am, and that is my truth. And I know what the follow-up comment's gonna be. Show me the bald spot. Show me the bald spot. No. No way. Can you see it? It's starting to grow in, though. Thank you for Amanda for bringing this this important piece of information to the world. Oh, this is a funny question. I think I will end on this one. This one says, you can sing. No. That is one thing that I really truly wish I was blessed or gifted with, but I have a horrendous singing voice, and it's really unfortunate for anyone in my life because I love to sing. Like, I sing all the time. I'm singing in the shower. I truly am belting out, you know, my inner Lady Gaga during Shallow 24/7, but it's not good. I always say it's like a beluga whale getting hit by a truck. Somewhere in there is where my vocal range lies. So yeah, no, it's not good at all, but I love singing. I'm just horrible at it. Okay, I think that is pretty much all of the assumptions that aren't repeats or things that are interesting to talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for sending in your assumptions, and do I have anything else to say? No, that's it. This is the end of the video. Thanks guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys really soon. Oh, you know what? I do have something else to say. Look at how fun this phone case is. This isn't sponsored, by the way. I really am entertained by things easily, and this just, it's like, it reminds me of a lava lamp, or like one of those, what are those called? The timing things with sand in it? Whoa. Wait, what are those called? Oh, an hourglass. Wow, that was unfortunate. An hourglass, that's the word I was looking for. See, this is why you should go to grade 12, friends. Okay, anyways, thanks guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys subscribe, comment down below, all the things, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!